Hello again, mountain bikers everywhere, and welcome to another show of Old Man in Lycra. Yep, this is the mountain bike show for the, let's say, mature rider, the weekend warrior, if you like. And on this show, you're not going to see any of this, or this, and definitely none of this, but this week we are concerned. And we're concerned about your feet. Not what they smell like, that's up to you, but how they connect you to your bike. Today we visit Irma and Riaan again, and we're going to be looking at feet, more specifically how your feet connect to the bike. Irma has got some must-see information, so if you've got 2 feet, I suggest you keep watching.
This is the section about the contact points of the feet on the bike. First of all, what I need you to do is you're just going to march on the spot for me. Don't look at your feet. This feeling, and what I'm looking for, is the hip, the knee and the ankle to feel like it's in a straight line the way you were walking, and where you make contact with the pedal, that's the way you would pedal as well, because that's the way you walk. So I'm going to twist your cleats so that your toes look a little bit out, but your leg goes in a straight line. If I had his foot straight, his whole leg is in a different place, and then this knee would start making this funny wonky knee. And this I'll be able to see, do you have high arches, flat feet, moderate arch, and what would you need so that we can support your whole foot so that you can push down from your hip into your foot and there's no manipulation or ankling on your feet. It's moderate arches, there's a little bit of foot that doesn't touch the ground, totally cool. What's in your specialized shoes should be absolutely fine. If you don't have one of these fancy things lying around at home, I'm sure you don't, you don't know what are the extremes that you have, like super flat feet or really high arches, it's advisable that you see one of your orthopedic specialists in your area just to make sure, do you need any foot support. So I've set Riaan's cleats so that his foot position looks like when he's walking. You can see this little arrow here it's not facing straight up, it's slightly off-centered towards the big toe, and that will make his feet turn outward. So if the cleat goes this way, the foot goes that way. You'll see Riaan's cleats are quite far back. He's an ultramarathon rider. He likes doing Transpaviaans, 361, those kinds of rides, which is a lot of endurance, a lot of consistent sitting and pedaling. Moving it a little bit further back, you're changing the muscle process. So all the way back is like a downhill position. It's a lot of hamstrings. It enables you to sort of keep your feet flat all the time, but it's a weak bum position and not really lots of quads. Slightly a little bit forward to where his position is now, you've sort of got a third of the bum, the quad and the hamstring working together. And you can manipulate which one you want to use more, how you feel like in the time of your ride. So this is a really nice place, especially if you don't want to think too much. A little bit further back on the pedal gives you a lot more control. Weight into the bike makes you steady, and it's amazing on trail rides and maneuvering your bike around switchbacks, stones, rocks. If the cleat was more to the front, you need to be technically and skill very advanced. It's a big sprint position. It's like running on your toes. So you're working really hard on the upper top of your quads. They are doing most of the pedal stroke work, and obviously an hour later you have nothing left because you were sprinting all the time. It's not advisable for us weekend warriors. We want to chill, we want to have fun, we want to do a little bit of everything. So moving the cleat a little bit back just puts all the muscle groups in a space where they can all help you. So when Riaan was walking and just showing us how he walks, I wanted him to feel like his hip, midline of his hip, knee and ankle is in a straight line, and his feet must just fit into that. So his foot looks slightly out, but his leg is still in a straight line. So you can see that is his neutral, that's normal. If I had it wrong, pedal. If I had it wrong, there we go. Can you see his knee goes in, pedal, gaan vinniger. His knee goes in, and it makes like a little 8 shape. and he's trying to push my hand back into the frame of the bike. You need floats, especially if you're not biomechanically very strong. If you had any knee injuries or ankle injuries or hip injuries or any disorders of the joints. And what it does is it enables you to create a little bit of range of motion on your pedal while your foot is stuck, okay? The biggest reason for floats is that it enables us to control the bike. It enables us to, wherever your feet goes, that's where the hip goes, where the hip goes, that's where the bike goes. If you have a 0-degree float, that's where the racing guys, the cross-country guys, they want 0 float because it's really stiff, it's really stuck, and they are so strong biomechanically, they use their bodies completely different to get over all those obstacles. So this is the Look S-Track pedal. It's quite a popular pedal because it's got a longer surface this way. This cleat specifically has a 4-degree float. So as a bike fitter, if you had to tell me you have major injuries on your knees and your ankles, I get concerned. And if you were walking like Riaan does, but your feet are even more out, I would make you change this to something with a little bit more float so that we can give your knees and your ankles the most range of motion and get them comfortable. I just want to show you the range that this cleat has in float. So Riaan, please relax completely. So I can twist his foot all the way like that. If I go past, this is 4 degrees. If I go past that point now, his foot is loose. He can use all of that space to influence his ride and to get over and around obstacles. On the back end of the foot, there's quite a lot of space on the heel on 4 degrees before you're going to get out of the pedal. Guys like the stiffness, but just remember that would choose it based on your injuries and your especially ligament and tendon injuries.
Well, thank you, Irma. Always very useful information. I had never heard of float before. Well, I have now, and so have you. Next week, we'll be on the way to Joburg to see, not to ride it, but to film it for the 9 days, and so we'll be giving you a little taste of what to expect. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll catch up with you next time.